Hey, this is Redban. You're listening to Muff Said here at DeathSquad.tv. Don't forget to subscribe to us on iTunes and Stitcher. Also, if you live in La Jolla, which is San Diego, California, if you're nasty, I'm coming up there with Sarah Tiana and Tony Hinchcliffe this month, May 24th and 25th. First time at the Comedy Store in La Jolla. So tickets are on sale at DeathSquad.tv or just go to the Comedy Store's website, thecomedystore.com. And just look for May 24th and May 25th with Sarah Tiana, Tony Hinchcliffe. Also, don't forget, in July, we are coming back to the American Comedy Company for Comic-Con 2013. We're doing 2 midnight shows. We're also going to do some podcasts, I think, during the day. It's going to be a big party. So if you're going to be in Comic-Con, get your tickets now. I'm going to announce the lineup pretty soon. It's going to be fun. Last year we went there, and we had like Jim Norton, Joe Rogan, and Doug Benson. It was a bunch of people, and it was a lot of fun. So we decided to come back. So do it. Don't forget, you can always go to DeathSquad.tv for all the current live shows, all the video components to all the shows, and all the information you want. Also, the Death Squad number 3 t-shirt has been finished, and now I'm just putting the fine touches on it. It should be available within a month, I would say, so you could stop tweeting me and going, "Where's the shirts?" Blah, blah. And all those people that are like, "When are you going to get the shirts back in stock?" Have you not been paying attention? These are limited edition. That's why you have to buy them before they sell out. So stop your nonsense. Anyways, here's a brand new episode of Muff Said with a good friend of ours, Chase Conley.
What's up, everyone? I am so excited to be here today. First of all, because I have toys that make noise. I have Chase Conley, who is one of my favorite artists in studio, and of course, the sexiest man in video game development by my side, Mr. Nick Ahrens.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
We should talk about how you're sounding extra husky before people get confused.
Yeah, I'm a little I'm a little extra sexy. I'm like +1 to the sexy meter right now, which is not actually sexy because I'm a little under the weather. But I have I'll be taking shots at Dayquil all through the show, and we're gonna make it.
That makes me back to takes me back to San Diego Comic-Con 2012, where you may have seen me walking around with a bottle of Dayquil.
Yeah, I literally keep this in my bag next to my laptop charger. Well, actually, I forgot the laptop charger. I just brought the Dayquil.
Yeah, it's a bold look. You know, I'm not against doing shots of, the Tussin or the Dayquil when times are tough, but I like that you are mixing the daytime non-drowsy Dayquil
with beer.
With
not
beer.
Literally, but like I got to do it.
You're gonna do a shot of Dayquil followed by a back of beer.
This is the most poor man's scissor possible. Some beer
I think it's pronounced slizzurp.
Scissor.
Scissorup?
It's scissor.
Damn it,
Sipping
I'm
on
so
sipping on some scissor. Yeah,
Scissorup?
I know the song quite
What's
well.
slizzurp? Is that
Sipping
something
on some
different?
scissor.
I mean, you can be slizzard.
Yeah.
What is slizzard?
I mean,
Mr. Chase Conley?
I think
That's when you're just that next level. Like, you're beyond drunk. You're beyond faded. You're beyond gone.
You're slizzard.
So
You're
it is a
slizzard.
real word that I have heard possibly in rap music.
Maybe. I think so.
gonna
I've heard
say
it
yes.
before.
We're gonna
it's
say
Snoop
yes.
Dogg.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
works.
Yeah.
I would
Slizzard.
like to toast Mr. Chase Conley for being the first
Aw.
guest to bring us beer.
Nice. Yo, man. Party rules.
Yeah.
Ghost cheer
Cheers.
over there.
Cold beer
Oh.
at that.
Cold beer.
Yeah, like I was saying when I came in, like, my favorite beer, for right now, wasn't warm. And, of course, I had to bring some cold beer because we talked about that.
You brought 2 different kinds of beer. You brought 12 bottles of beer for us.
Yeah, I'm not an alky.
I just think
Is
you're
that
a
the
good
first step of
time.
denial or something like that? Yeah,
I swear I can stop anything.
Yeah, I love pale ales and IPAs, so I brought Sierra Nevada. That's like my go-to. I can get it anywhere.
I like the Sierra Nevada. It's piney. It's citrus forward. It's flavorful.
I'm starting to like pale ales because of this podcast. Like coming into this, I wasn't a pale ale person, and Ryan for like 3 or 4 shows in a row just brought these really good pale ales. And now I'm basically a convert at this point.
Yeah.
Well,
It's-
I'm warming
they're
you
awesome.
up to IPAs. At some point, we're going to go there.
Someday.
Someday, we're going to go there. So
Take
I
it
feel
slow.
like,
Let's take it slow.
yeah, this is like when I like lick my finger and I twiddle it around your butthole before I actually go in there.
I'd run away.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's dope though. Man, I don't know. I like them because you can drink them in any season.
Yeah.
Like in the wintertime, in the
Kinda
summertime,
any
it doesn't
food.
feel too.
Yeah.
Have it with any kind of food. I could just be confusing myself into thinking that, but
No,
I mean,
because in the wintertime, you get those like nice, piney, hoppy notes.
Yeah.
And then in the summer, you can pay more attention to those Swiss citrusy floral notes. I mean, this is the Sierra Nevada Pale Ale. It's a classic beer. It's one of the beers that I think is pretty much responsible for reigniting the microbrew movement here in America. This was a game changer back in the day.
word.
Yeah.
See, man, I have to thank my homie. Shout out to Billy. He gave me some culture because like I used to hate beer, and we would only drink Hennessy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Shit like that, Thug's Passion,
Yeah.
whatever.
I'm having flashbacks to junior high.
Exactly. On bad days like E&J. Oh,
Just some like rail car whiskey or something like
yeah,
that.
What's E&J?
or Budweiser. It's called. I call it Irk and Jerk because that's what you do after you drink a bottle of it.
But it comes in a plastic bottle, right?
Nah, it's not that far. I
Oh,
don't drink
I'm
anything
thinking
in
of something.
plastic.
I'm thinking of something
Oh,
else.
you
That's
think
like,
E and J.
E and J.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, E and J.
I was personally always a
ampersand in
Strawberry Fields kind of guy.
Oh yeah,
Palmer Son.
makes sense. Makes sense.
It's horrible. I call that gargoyle blood. It's bad. It's bad.
That's the best nickname ever for a booze. Gargoyle blood. I
Exactly,
love that.
man. You feel like that afterwards too, man. All these things are their descriptions of how you feel afterwards. They're all like
Gargoyle
shit is
blood.
serious. Nah, but he, we used to drink Ice House and things I would never admit to now.
Yeah.
I remember back when I used to play Kings, Natty Ice was my go-to.
Oh man. Natty Ice comes in the coveted 50 pack, an
Yeah.
even 50 pack.
It's like $5 for that.
50. Yes,
Yeah.
it's literally like
What?
a 50 pack.
Which makes it perfect for playing Kings with.
What?
Why was ice so popular? Like, is it supposed to be stronger because it's that cold? Wait, I don't understand what we believed
cheaper
in
than
back
cheap.
then.
It's cheaper than cheap. That's a real.
Everything was
reason
ice
about it.
back then. Remember, like
Yeah.
everyone had.
You, like if you get it, it's just like, oh yeah, isn't that ice shit we were drinking? And then you just pick
Oh,
up
yeah.
one natural
Smirnoff Ice.
fucking
There was
Bud.
that stupid trend for a while where you ice people.
Yeah.
Where you like you have to
Nice.
like they have to chug it if they if you have one in your pocket they chug. Like who carries around a Smirnoff Ice in their pocket?
Guys that work on Wall Street. To fuck
I
with
guess.
other guys that work on Wall
I
Street.
guess.
That's how that trend happened.
Yeah,
What?
I guess.
Remember when you played that game where you see how many red stripes you could put in your asshole?
They're small bottles.
2.5.
Yeah.
2.5.
2.5.
Would
Measured
cut
out.
open easy.
See, I don't visualize you putting the bottles in your asshole. I just think about you doing a butt chug. 'Cause that does sound like something that
Butt
you would
chug.
do.
That's the term.
It's like
Butt chug.
it's
Butt
like
chug.
it's an add-on
Is
to a
that like-
keg stand.
Damn, that's horrible.
That's horrible.
Supposed to get drunk faster that way or something like that.
It's
It has to.
I don't-
those
don't look at me.
Those vodka tampons, that the girls are putting inside of them.
and the frat boys are going and putting in their buttholes. 'Cause
Probably.
it puts them
Yeah.
directly into the bloodstream. Yeah, this happened like a year ago, and there was all these kids were getting caught giving themselves beer enemas.
That's horrible.
And then last time I was on the Jason Ellis show, they were making one of their.
That's like attempted suicide. Like that's terrible.
that's crazy.
That's horrible. Why'd you do that? Like I want to get drunk faster. Do 2 shots of tequila, you pussy. It's fucking easy.
I once gave myself a beer enema on a dare.
What?
Why?
It was a dare, and I was 18.
Wow.
Seemed like a really good idea. And my only piece of advice for people that do give themselves a beer enema:
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
make sure the beer is warm and flat. Just say it.
I can see. No, I can't see anything. But
No,
I can
either.
imagine.
Yeah,
how,
I'm right there with you.
I can imagine how the carbonation might,
Screw with you
Yeah.
real bad.
It's a tingle. It's
It's
definitely
a tingle. You'll run a little faster. Yeah.
Oh, that's horrible. You guys, speaking of tampons, a weird segue.
Yeah. Wow.
Did you guys see
where this goes.
you know how they had like the cinnamon challenge and things
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
Yeah.
going on?
Yeah.
There was this trend of girls pulling out their tampons and sucking the blood out.
Oh,
What?
I mean, to just drop a bomb in the room like that.
No,
but it happens. It's online.
No.
I don't know. It's not on YouTube. It's
Why
on
do-
sites like World Star Hip Hop.
Right.
No.
The best site in the world.
It is. the
Wait,
best.
what site is that?
I'm telling you.
Are you serious? You've never heard of World Star Hip
Yo,
Hop?
it might change your life.
It will change your life. It is the best videos on the
It's
internet.
also setting black culture back 50 years.
That might be the why it's so funny.
Exactly. It's like, yo, what's crazy is the amount of the same stories I see from the Huffington Post on World Star Hip Hop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like
But it all goes to
jumbled
Reddit
in
first.
with like knockouts of the week. Watch this homeless guy get beat up. Or
Yeah.
like not that evil.
It's
you know?
mostly like nobody has time for that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and just ridiculous fights on subways or
So it's like a sub,
lot of
it's like a
fights.
subreddit then basically. of
Pretty
just-
much.
of-
Yeah, but it's
videos.
really good. Like they really get some really great videos.
I don't know how. And they host the things that they take down. Like, for instance, what was that Julian Assange video where they had the chopper gunner? Mm-hmm. And I couldn't find that anywhere.
Right.
But I could always go back to World Star and they would have it on there. Like they have things like Saudis I seen a video of a Saudi guy. They were drifting on an airstrip. You know, all the police,
What?
everybody, they were out there.
That
They
sounds
were-
awesome.
It was crazy dope.
Yeah.
And then a dude drifted into a man and killed him.
Oh, see, I can't watch those videos.
They pulled him out of the car. They didn't. Well, it was from like far.
Yeah, but still, like I lead a little bit of a sugar-coated life on purpose because
Yeah.
then I'll just fucking think about that every night for like a week before I go to bed.
Well, just so I can make you feel any worse, they pulled the dude out of the car and they set him on his knees after he killed him, and it's death penalty over there. I guess vehicular manslaughter or whatever.
Yeah, and they killed that
and
guy?
they beheaded him on the site.
Oh.
What?
With the
Jesus.
rapier or whatever those
Yeah.
swords are called.
Yeah.
Like
Man,
on
I,
site right there. Like you were just drifting.
And we think
Yeah.
we live in a civilized world.
you were just drifting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you're dead.
yeah,
Beheaded.
That's why you don't drift, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, I only ghost
Don't
ride
drift.
whips. That's all I do.
Yeah.
I'm scared to do
Four,
that.
5 miles an hour.
Craziness, right? Speaking of authoritative people, on the way here, I was leaving my apartment. I live by Titmouse, like within a stone's throw of Titmouse.
Where's Titmouse?
It's in Hollywood.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
by like Lexington and
You know where all
Seward.
the tranny hookers go to give blowjobs?
Exactly.
Like right. So there's like Santa Monica and like
So it's
Vine,
by a donut
essentially.
shop. It's by a donut shop.
Yeah, it's by a donut shop, and then that really amazing taco stand.
Yo, that taco box right there,
So good.
Serious.
How much are the? What was the address again? They're just trying-
Yo, I'm sure you could
Lexington and
just
Vine.
you
What
could just
time?
go by and
10:30
turn
p.m.?
to Transylvania at night. There's tons of werewolves and shit out there, man. No, so I was leaving, right? And I live on Cherokee. It's like another stone's throw away from Transylvania. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? There's like an invisible barrier. They kind of don't gravitate up there.
Yeah.
So I'm leaving, and I see a ton of police, like just parked out on Lexington. I'm like, well, they must have somebody or something. Excuse me. There was like 8 of them, 8 cars. Tons of them sitting outside. You know, I just moved to LA like a year and 8
Oh,
months
I didn't know
ago.
that. Where'd you come from?
I was in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so culture shock.
Myrtle Beach.
Word.
What?
Myrtle Beach was the shit, man.
That was my
Fucking
vacation every year for like
spring break.
Yes,
Serious.
serious. Fuck 2 French girls.
Yo, man.
At the same time.
That's awesome.
Didn't even speak English. Had really big diaper type underwear on. It was weird.
That
That sounds
kinda-
awesome.
That sounds kind of dope, man.
really rad.
Yeah,
You're
nah,
like 2 French bitches in granny panties.
Yeah, that's what it was like. But like thicker, like cotton material. It was weird. It was 92, so it
Myrtle
was
Beach
wild.
used to be popping.
Yeah.
Now they've regulated that shit so much because they had like Black Biker Week, then they have another
right.
Biker Week back to back, and they had people riding their bikes down the strip with no helmets and ass everywhere and all that good stuff.
They're like none of that.
yeah, none of that.
None
stuff.
of that.
Let's just
And then the
take
economy
away the
and the
awesome.
economy you took a dive after that.
Exactly. No, but so yeah, I was leaving, and I, you know, like I said, I just moved to LA, and you know, you guys have street parking
Yeah.
on both
Sometimes.
sides. Well, yeah, but right there they have. Well, there's rarely when you need it.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
supposed to be
It's
street
supposed
parking.
to be street
Yeah, I
parking,
see what you're saying.
but I think it's just cars that just sit there all day.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm, you know, like I drive a stick, so I'm like I creep up a little bit. I can't see. You know, I kind of roll back. I creep up a little bit more. You know, the police are looking at me, but I'm, you know, they see these cars here. They see there's people coming. I'm thinking like, oh, well, so it's whatever. So I finally make a right turn. I get to that 7-Eleven, that's kind of close to the taco
Yep.
stand. They zoom up behind me, and they run out of the car. And I'm like, oh, shit. So they're like, put your hands out the window. Put your hands out the window. I'm on the phone with my girl. I'm like, yo, man, hold
When did this happen?
on. This is just right before I came over here.
Jesus.
This is at 7. I was on the way to Bevmo to get this beer and to leave from Bevmo to here. So on the way there, it's like 7:10. I'm like, oh, shit, I'm about to be late. So I put my hands out the window. They're like, stick your hands out the window. Give me your license. You know, they're like running and sprinting. So I'm like, oh, shit, I don't know what the fuck to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm dropping my phone and whatnot. And so they're like, I give him my license. They're like, step out of the car. He yanks me out of the fucking car.
What?
Oh,
by my shirt. Mind you, I just got this shirt.
Oh, it's brand fucking new.
my
I can
hat-
see it, man.
my-
I can see the fucking screen print. It looks brand
Exactly.
new.
You know what I'm saying? So my new hat fell on the side of the street. I'm like, oh, shit. You know, it's like mad tranny tears out there. And, you know.
Who knows what other
Who
fluids?
knows what else is out
Yeah,
there.
you're like, no, my hat. Anything but the hat.
Yeah, man. So he like yanks me up. And he's like, why you being stiff, man? Why you being stiff? Walk forward. Spread your legs. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? I can't do all this at one time.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be nice. I'm like, yo, you know, would you like me to walk forward into the parking lot and then spread my legs?
Yeah.
Or would you like me to
Spread my legs and
be
walk like
stiff?
an idiot?
Or, yeah.
Yeah.
What would you want me to do? You know? And he kind of thought I was being an asshole.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I'm just trying to help you out.
Yeah.
So I finally get to the 7-Eleven parking lot. They cuff me. He puts the tightest fucking cuffs on me. You know, I live right there.
Yeah.
So everybody that sees me thinks like, you know.
Shit's going down.
Yeah, shit's going down.
I know.
Some
Who's
people
this
stopping and
neighbor?
shit.
Yeah, of course.
And next thing I know, he's mad because he's like, you know, why are you nervous? Now you're making me nervous. So he's like, yo, take a knee. So I took a knee. The motherfucker pushed me down in my new shirt on this nasty ass concrete. Nasty as fuck. You know how
I know that
nasty it is.
neighborhood, yeah.
It's really bad.
Tranny pit.
Why? I don't understand.
Well,
like,
they
what
told
did you
me
do?
later. While he had me on the ground, I'm like trying to keep my face off the ground. I got my watch on. I'm like, yo, I'm not trying to fuck none of this shit
Yeah.
up and this
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
The clothes I can deal with, take them to
Yeah.
the cleaners or some shit, but
The face and
yeah,
the
you know, I
watch.
need that.
Face,
You know what
I
I'm saying?
agree.
This is my
Face and watch.
This is
Not gonna happen.
This gets me where I need to go. No, I'm. But no, on some serious shit though.
No, that's so what was
So they told me, they were like, "Yo, you rolled through a stop sign and we stopped you." And then they were like, "Okay, stand up." So you know how they pull you up by your arms.
Yeah.
You know, like they don't like help you stand. They kind of just
They yank you
up.
like
So,
a dog by the
yeah,
gruff
you know
or
what I'm
scruff or
saying?
whatever.
So they put me on the fucking wall that I've seen puddles of piss next to at that 7-Eleven. I look down, there's a fucking blood stain by my shoe.
and the whole
shit.
time you can't say anything because it's just gonna make it worse.
Yeah, well, they're running through my pockets and shit.
Yeah.
They got my pockets all out.
Is this legal?
This is
No.
legal
No.
because it's not legal, but this is what they told me.
It's probable cause.
Probable
or something,
cause
yeah.
because they were all out there because they had been car thefts today, and they see me roll through the stop sign and
While
my
like
window is
while
down.
you're looking at them.
While I'm looking
yeah.
at them, and I like kind of went like this and went back and then
Yeah.
went forward, and my window's all the way down, and I had my iPhone earbuds in
Yeah.
because I was GPSing how to get here.
Yeah.
and like my iPhone speaker sucks,
Yeah.
so I can't use the speaker in the car because it just sounds muffled.
You want to have your headphones on anyway. That's safer. If you
well,
get a call or
exactly.
whatever.
you want a headphone because
A
it's against law
headphone,
for
yeah.
both.
Yeah, so he was like, yo, they did the good cop, bad cop thing. So the other asshole dude that was yelling at me the whole time, he went and searched my car, and the dude was like, hey, man, what do you do? It's like, I told him, he was like, yo, that's really cool, like, not a lot of people get that opportunity, et cetera, et cetera. And all the while I'm looking down at this blood stain and shit. Like,
You're the whole time you're like, I just don't want to be here.
I don't want to be here. Like
anywhere
my pockets,
else, but
my pockets
here.
are all out. You know
Can
what I'm
we
saying?
do this a block away?
My hat's in the street. I'm thinking like somebody's getting ready to run over my shit.
Well, do you just keep looking back at your hat like my poor hat?
So it was probable cause because they said that. I mean, it's some bullshit.
It's
Yeah.
super bullshit. That's never happened to me ever. I'm 30 fucking
Yo,
8
man,
years old.
what's
I've
crazy
never
is
had that happen to me.
My girl was so livid because she was like, I hate that happened to you. I'm like, yo, that is not the first time that shit has happened.
Yeah,
to
how
me.
many times?
I was happy to just get away from that situation.
How many times has that happened to you?
And since shit, man, 2000 maybe. At least 7 or 8 times.
7?
Jesus.
Are you fucking kidding me?
At least, but that's not even in L.A. This is in North Carolina, where cops are
Did they
a little
even- did
bit
they
more.
even-
They're a little
did-
bit more racially charged.
Did they even? But did they even like? Did they even pull like any kind of like, oh, that fits your description, or they literally just
No,
said
they just said that.
cars are being stolen?
I'm saying, man, I'm looking like I'm driving. Like I look kind of suspect.
Seems like a normal thing that someone would do when they're like, "There's a million cops in the street. I don't know
No
how
shit.
to proceed
This is
in
the
this
city of
situation."
Gawkers. This is the biggest reason we have traffic is because people drive too slow when they look at shit.
Rubbernecking.
Yeah,
Yo,
rubberneckers.
man, that shit is serious though. But nah, he like tore my car apart. So I get back in my car. It looks like I'm saying they tore my car apart because they wanted to find something.
Yeah.
Not only inside my interior, all my registration, all my papers was everywhere.
Of course, there's nothing there.
Everything is open. They just leave all my doors open. They're like, all right, man, you can go. I look in my trunk. Every piece of paneling I have in my trunk is ripped up, right? Like, you can go to my car right now and look at my car.
Are you
Did
serious?
you take photos of it?
Dude,
Nah, because you know what, man?
you need to
Whatever.
get a lawyer.
Yeah.
You know what, though?
Fucking
On some real
sue this
shit,
shit.
like, I live in that area, and I've seen that one Hispanic cop before. I don't want them to just harass me for the sake of harassing me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I got to kind of choose my battles. It's
Yeah.
like, you
No,
know,
that makes sense.
Oh
That
my-
makes sense.
because they will harass you.
This pisses
Like,
You
me
should
off
become
so
a CERT
much.
member. I'm telling you why. Because Community Emergency Response Team, I've never gotten out of a ticket in my life because cops pull me over and they're like, "Oh, attractive girl, you're the girl that that wouldn't deal with me in high school, even though I was hideous in high school." And I don't get out of tickets, and they like give me maximum tickets every single time I get pulled over for anything. And as soon as I became a CERT member, the last time I got pulled over, I was like, "Yo, man, like I'm a member of this community. I volunteer with CERT. Like I'm like here to, you know." And then I'm starting to get to know the firefighters and cops in my neighborhood too. So they're stepping
Too
off.
much fucking work. What should be
It's
work
7
was
weeks.
a
It's 1 evening a week. And I agree with you that what happened to Chase today should not happen.
no. That's fucking bullshit. Like that
bullshit.
pisses me off.
It should have left. He should have left me alone once he seen my ID. 'Cause
Yeah.
he saw my ID and he was like, "Oh, you still
me,
on,
like,
you still
to
on
me-
Cherokee
well,
right
like,
here?
and-
Yeah, I live right here. You watch
Yeah.
me pull out of my garage."
And
Like,
to me
this is some
too, it's
bullshit.
like it's one thing for them to be like, okay, like we're looking for a car thief. He just rolled a stop sign while looking at us weird.
Yeah.
Let's ask him a question. It's another thing to fucking
Pull you out.
throw you on the ground
Yeah.
and shit like that.
Yeah, that's
Yo, you can ask anybody around that area, and it just happened.
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
I was like, "Yo, I'm glad that you told me," because I asked Ryan. I was like, "Yo, you know, I'm not used to this traffic out here." I was like, "Should I leave? You know, at like 6:30 or
Right,
something
right,
like
right.
that?" And she was like, "No, you should leave at 7:45." I'm late all the time, so I'm like, "All right, let me leave at 7:30 ish,
Yeah.
7:20, and it's 7:25. I'm just not getting back in my car, and I'm like, I don't even want to straighten up my car, so I drove to Bevmo because I'm dedicated.
Got
Like,
some beer.
I
Still
some
got the beer.
Need that, you know.
That's crazy.
But
That's
yeah,
crazy.
That pisses me off so much. Like I want to do something about it. Like I almost
It
want
does.
to be
It
like,
pisses me off too. And like I said, I understand the justification for stopping you in the first place, but I understand there's no like it should have been a conversation with you at the window.
Yeah.
It
You
didn't
should
happen
you
like
should
that,
not
though.
have had to get out
No,
of your car,
exactly.
Before they asked me to get out of the car before they asked for my ID.
which is horseshit.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
like because he was asking, he was like, "Put your hands out the window," and I'm like, "Hold on, I'm on the phone." He's like, "Put your hands out the window," as he's running up. So I like disobey him. Hold
To get your ID.
to get not only get my ID, turn my phone off. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm on the phone with my girl
Yeah.
at the time. Turn my phone off. Get my ID, which is in my glove box.
Yeah.
And when he seen I did that, he got pissed off. He
Yeah.
thought I was like trying to hide some shit or something like that. And but yeah, it was whatever, man. You know, like I was just happy to be out of that situation. I don't necessarily deal with police like that. I don't think they were doing their job. I'm happy they were in my
That is
neighborhood.
not doing
But
their
I
job.
don't
No
think them
job.
fucking with me was doing my job, but them being in the area, you know what I'm saying? And
It's a weird.
It's just one of
it's
those
weird
things.
checks and balances though, because like
Absolutely.
you know, like it's because I recently moved out of a super shitty neighborhood, and every night there was a cop car doing something right in front of my apartment building. And at one point, I was like, "Man, these guys harass the dudes that live around me all the time." And I know a couple of these guys. They're pretty good dudes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was kind of like, if there's a reason to keep coming back that many times, there might be some shit happening that isn't. I don't want to be around. So I always have this like internal struggle of like listen, if we like the system's broken, I totally get it. But if there was no system, it would be. I've seen that. We've seen that in other countries on the news. Like it's it's worse. So it's more of just there just needs to be more onus and responsibility on that law enforcement side. You know what I mean? Like it's almost there, but they're just doing just like when it crosses that line, you're just like fuck. You know what I mean?
yeah. See, I maybe I'm just it's just because my life experiences, I feel this way about it. But it's like that was my first interaction with LAPD.
Yeah.
I've been out here a year and a half. I'm not a troublemaker by any means.
You're an artist.
Exactly.
Like
The
you
opposite.
draw pictures for
All
a
day.
living.
Yeah.
All day. I sit at a desk and draw shit.
Yeah.
Like I imagine shit.
Yeah.
That's far from illegal,
Yeah.
That's like the sweetest, most gentle
that's the
job
best-
of all time.
That's
Anything
the
you could
best
ever
job.
do, right? Out of
Yeah.
anything.
It's like pure and altruistic.
You know what? You do work with the cops, though. You work with one particular cop.
Yeah. He's the only cop that may be kind of cool. I even had my doubts, which we're talking about, Axe Cop.
Yeah.
Which is the shit.
Axe Cop. We're
Axe
talking
Cop,
about
which
Axe
is the
Cop.
shit.
I'll
You know what
chop
I'm
your head
saying?
off.
Chop your head off. That's a nice segue because this shit was getting real,
as soon
real
as you-
negative.
as soon as you-
angry, I'm like thinking, like, what should I do?
As soon as you started telling the story, I'm like, Axe Cop segue. Hello.
Yeah, boom. Yeah, that shit is crazy, man.
We're getting so much better at segues on this show.
It's nice.
It's
It's great.
hey Redban, do I get a gold star? Do we get a gold star?
Sword star.
I just did the Axe Cop segue.
You did,
I
but
want a-
overall,
I want a gold star.
you can have
Nick gets
some
gold
Iron
star.
Man 3D glasses.
Hell yeah, I'm gonna wear these for the rest of the
Yo,
show.
that Iron Man mask is awesome. Yo, you think this movie's gonna be dope?
On Rotten Tomatoes, it's like 96% out of like 45 reviews.
Yo, I don't trust him anymore though.
I don't trust him either.
I don't.
Let's watch the Axe Cop.
I don't say that it's a 94% movie. I just say like it's probably pretty good because
Yeah.
you know it's like you do like a general meter, general meter.
Yo, these glasses are kind of pimp, yo. I can rock these.
You're welcome. Those are yours.
Look at myself in the.
It looks good with the hat. Looks good with the hat. I like it with the hat.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's
You look
all
like
about
a-
that.
You look like you should be in Breakin' 2.
Word.
With those glasses.
I wish I could break dance because I would definitely get up and.
Ozone to the stage.
That should be awesome. Oh shit, is this Axe Cop?
Axe
right?
Cops.
Axe Cop.
The Axe Cop
Yo,
website.
you might have a better chance. Oh well. I
There's,
have-
there's
you-
a link in the.
Well, do you want to first do a little background of what Axe Cop is?
Okay, so Axe Cop, it's a comic book, right? And from what I understand, with Ethan, the older brother, I think he was looking for something to draw, something fun. You know, he was an illustrator, and he asked his little brother, "Yo, you know, what do you want to draw?" And apparently, from what I understand, I just found out some information. We were on the panel together at WonderCon, and from what he was telling me, he was like, his brother used to play. Like, I don't know if it was like a firefighter. He used to pretend like he was some kind of character. I think, and all he had to play with was like a rubber axe, and he became Axe Cop.
Right.
So his older brother, whenever he asked him, Malachi was like, "Draw Axe Cop," and and it became like a web comic that it eventually became successful because it's so absurd. Because
It's completely absurd.
Malachi, the little brother, who was 5 at the time, you know, thinks of things that only a 5-year-old can think of. Like he has a sidekick named Flute Cop. It's just
Yeah.
a cop that plays a flute.
he has a
You know,
T-Rex with machine gun arms. that
yeah,
flies
Gatling
through
gun
space.
arms. His name is Wexter, and he wears aviator cop shades.
Yeah, I mean the idea
Yes.
of a comic. I mean, this is the ultimate web meme.
Yeah.
The idea of a comic drawn by a professional comic book artist, because he was a pro before
Yeah.
that, and his younger brother, who was 5, just spouting out the book and almost verbatim, just the shit that would come out of his mouth. He would just draw it.
and he's
It's insane.
I met him when I first started. This was back in the fall. I want to say October or November. He really spouts out ideas like that. Like,
Yeah.
he was coming around giving me notes. I was almost like, yo, what?
Really?
You're 8.
You really? You had to take notes? I would.
And I had to do it. I was like, yo, that's kind of cool. I don't know if I like the fact that you just did that,
He's
but
a
that's
co-creator.
kind of
He's
awesome,
technically
actually.
a co-creator, though. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
nah,
Like-
it was, you know, I'm just giving him a hard time because he's 8. But nah, he's awesome though. Malachi is the man, yo. He's a really cool kid, and like I said, man, just the things that he can think of is insane.
All right,
but
here's the trailer. Let's watch it.
yeah, Axe Cop is full of awesomeness and other things.
This works. It's supposed to be playing.
See this one? Oh yeah, this is the one right here.
One day, at the scene of the fire, the cop found the perfect axe. That was the day he became Axe Cop!
Axe Cop, what are you doing?
I'm imagining myself with different hair and mustache styles.
You are going to build me an evil army of zombies on Zombie Island in space!
Axe Cop, will you help me?
Only if you tell me how you think I'd look with a mohawk and a handlebar mustache.
I'm no videologist, but maybe this VHS tape can tell us what happened to your father.
I am the Queen of London,
And I am Dr. Doo-Doo.
I'll chop your head off!
Today, I will make the great axe cop poop himself to death!
That looks so great, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be
I don't
awesome.
think Iron Man 3 is going to be that good.
I wasn't ready for my image to switch back to these shades. Like, who the fuck is this?
That was great.
I mean,
Star
it is.
Trek looking
I mean, it
motherfucker.
is like I read a lot of Axe Cop when it first came out, and it is. It's so random, but it's because it's from the mind of a child. It's not a randomized thing that. There's a lot of the internet is full of randomization, basically, but it's all done from mostly adults.
Well, see,
this is a child doing this, and
Yeah.
it's like true, unadulterated imagination.
And
So great.
it's exactly to him. It's not random.
No,
to him,
to-
it's
it makes
serious.
sense,
and that's
yeah.
the humor of it because it's played so straight. And in the show, the way they have, I think me and a few other board artists. Shout out to LaShawn Thomas. He was working on the first episode, the kind of that you seen from the trailer right there. Yeah, like they have us play it so straight because he is super serious. Axe Cop is like the ultimate dude. Like he's what a 5-year-old would think the ultimate man is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, what more can you? I mean, that makes a great show already. Like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
things he can think of, it's insane, man. I don't know what I can give away and what I can't give away, but I mean, like,
Well, when can we watch it?
Yeah.
it comes on. I want to say the week after Comic Con.
Cop.
The week after Comic Con, it comes on.
And you're directing.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
How does directing a animated series work?
It depends on the studio. It depends on like the actual pipeline. From what I understand, I don't know if they do it a little bit differently overseas, but from what I understand, because this is my first time boarding anything, because I wanted to be a
When
board
you
artist.
say boarding, what does that mean?
Storyboarding.
Okay.
So that's essentially what you're doing when you're directing, because you don't have a camera. So you have storyboard artists. I think whenever you're directing an animation, you have a director. He has 2 storyboard artists. Mm-hmm. I guess maybe he does kind of maybe the rough overview of it. Maybe that might entail him doing a rough pass of all of it, and they clean up his roughs from that point, or tighten them up and add other things to it, or I know, like, I think, like, in Japan, and, like, when they do anime, or maybe in Korea, and they have a guy that's directing, he might just be boarding that whole sequence. Like, he might board the movie. Like, they have guys that board from beginning to end, like, an entire movie.
Oh my gosh.
You know what I'm saying?
I've met a lot of storyboard artists, but I didn't really think about,
Yeah.
because we've had John Schnepp on the show
Yeah.
who directs Metalocalypse, but Schnepp doesn't really explain things.
I was actually gonna call Schnepp before I came over here. I was like, "Yo, man, I'm going to do Ryan Keely's show. You got any advice for me?" I just seen him on Friday. We had a couple drinks for another titmice. I don't know how you refer to them. There were titmice there.
Mouseketeers?
Titmouseketeers. That's
yeah.
kind of cool, man. Rolls off the tongue. It was somebody's birthday, Stephanie's birthday.
Okay, so
I saw him. I wanted to have him come through, but
you worked
I don't
on...
think he fits in my car.
No. You worked on Black Dynamite over at Titmouse, and what did you do there? And then how did you take from working at Titmouse now into working on Axe Cop?
Well, basically, to give you the long story, I've been trying to get into animation for a long time. Maybe I wouldn't call it a long time because I'm not that old, but a long time though. I was shifting from comics, and that's an entirely different discussion. But I was shifting from comics. I wanted to make a change, and I kept in contact with LaShawn, who was like my big homie. He taught me a lot of stuff, most of the stuff I know about animation at the time. And he was working on Black Dynamite. I had just visited him in South Korea, and I seen the Black Dynamite pilot, like the character models on his desk. And he was like, "Yeah, this is gonna be a dope ass show." Blah blah blah. So I got back. Ben Kalina, I know he's been here before.
Mm-hmm.
Like he contacted me. Carl Jones contacted me, who was the showrunner for that. And a few other cats, and then Chris P. and Shannon P. Let me come and stay with them.
Oh, wow.
When I first moved out here because they needed me to come out for this job. So
That was your kind of deciding factor to come out to LA.
Yeah, because I wanted to come out here, but I knew it was expensive. I was also a comic book artist. They don't get paid shit unless you work for like Marvel or something like that. And if you know me, I kind of got this thing. I don't do superheroes. I don't enjoy. I think they're fun, like in the sense that I can go watch a movie. Right. Or I grew up reading them. I still follow certain artists when they draw superhero things. But the older I get, I just think it's mad weird that you got these grown-ass men running around in spandex and shit. You know what I'm saying? And I also kind of feel weird about certain characters that like they achieve everything by force. You know, like my homeboy Ronald Wimberly, by his book Prince of Cats, by the way, he was like, yo, man, Batman just runs around and beats the shit out of people. Like, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, brute force.
Yeah. But yeah, that, you know, not to get go on a tangent. But anyway, so I came out here, and that was a deciding factor because I knew LA was super expensive. And I was just like, even if I save money, I'll feel more comfortable, but I don't know anybody. So it'd be nice to come out, take this opportunity. I know I'm coming out to a job. I don't have to go search for a job.
Right.
Apartment hunt, then fly back, get my stuff in order, and then come back and live here. And that's exactly what happened. And like at the time, they were having an issue trying to find someone to do this style. He might be irritated when he hears this, but Dave Johnson was the one doing it before. And every time I see him, I'm like, yo, man, thanks for giving me that job. You know what I'm saying? But I know I've seen him several times since then, and I say the same shit all the time. Yeah. But yeah, so he was like, whenever he stepped down, he was like, yo, I know a dude that could actually do this. I didn't even know he knew of my work. I've been following him for years, so it was super cool. Like, this is fucking flattering as shit, man. And he recommended me, and it just all kind of came full circle because LaShawn knew me, and he was like, he's the supervising director, and I was like, okay, this is a dope situation. And I came in, and they made me like lead designer because they didn't have any lead character designer. They didn't have anybody that could draw the style, so I was kind of just doing it by myself.
How would you describe the Black Dynamite style?
It's kind of difficult, but more or less is based on this animator / director named Takeshi Koike.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it seems like a hybrid of American Japanese.
Yeah. Well, that's what his style is.
Right.
And if you look at his anime, he has a very Western style.
What else has he done?
He's done like Redline. Amazing anime. I think it took him like 8 years to make it. If I'm not mistaken, I want to say even like Chris P had even worked on it because they didn't have enough Japanese artists.
Chris P is in charge of all things Titmouse for those that are unfamiliar.
Right.
I want to say he told me that when I first flew out here. He was like, yeah, man, because they were having trouble finding people because I think he worked at Madhouse for a little bit. That's how Western this style is.
Right.
So they didn't even have to like change it up really any at all.
Here we're showing
here's the trailer. Here. So you got these heavy blacks, heavy black shadows. That's one of his trademarks because he's like, I guess he studied under Kawajiri, who is this guy, he's directed tons of shit like Ninja Scroll.
Yeah.
My favorite anime of all time.
It's interesting that you bring up that black style because there's like almost like a 50-50 ratio of like pure black and then color.
Absolutely. I mean, when we do these character models, it just makes it easier too because you don't have to choose as much color.
Right.
When I was doing my character model sheets, I mean, most of the bottom half of the character, like this arm, this leg, and their torso, and a little bit would be black.
Right.
It's just a little bit of color because it's supposed to look like light is hitting it, and whatever light doesn't hit is black.
It's cool too because it's got like almost like a really modern feel to it, like a really almost like flat kind of like mod design.
Yeah, it's
feel
got
to
like
it.
It's like a graphic nature.
It's not overly like angles aren't overly shadowed to make it feel round or anything like that, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it was dope, man. You got your troubles too, like. It was outsourced to like a couple Korean animation studios, and it took them a while, man, to get the hang of it. Yeah. Like they, because they're great at.
How is it animated? Like, is it like Maya or?
No, pencil and paper, man.
Oh wow, all hand animated.
Yeah,
interesting, cool.
Koreans, they're badass. They're fucking insane. Like they've been animating our shows like the last 30 years.
Yeah,
anything you can think of.
Futurama.
Yeah, all that shit, man. Yeah. Like anything, like. And people don't know that, and they've had that time to catch up with like Japan.
Yeah,
they got just as many good animators now. And the thing is, they don't create original content. I think from what I can remember, like their government doesn't give them funding for that kind of stuff, which sucks.
So I'm curious.
Funding for the arts is a really important thing.
Yeah,
remember that when you go out and vote.
See, they outsource. They do tons of outsourced work.
Yeah.
But that brings in revenue, and I think that's
for
what
sure.
their government is more focused on. You know what I'm saying? Is bringing in that revenue, not necessarily taking chances on.
Right. Guaranteed,
Yeah.
gross national product. So I'm curious to know how stylistically you move from Black Dynamite and then to directing Axe Cop, because Axe Cop is a little bit more whimsical, a little bit more not colorful, but like a little bit more like contrast, like bright colors and stuff like that.
I mean, it was easy. I consider myself pretty versatile,
Right.
Which is my saving grace. Because like when I was first getting into like the art industry, I didn't know what the fuck. I didn't know what I was gonna do. I was
Right.
like, let me teach myself how to paint. I love video games. Let me be a
Right.
concept artist for that.
Right.
So I learned how to paint. Like I learned how to draw. I did comics and I did animation. But I realized that like towards the end of the line, that if I study animation and how to do visual development and stuff like that for animation, I could bounce back and forth to the rest of the things easier.
Yeah.
So I just started studying a bunch of styles. And Axe Cop wasn't too far out of the vein of Black Dynamite.
No.
But what it is like there's certain choices aesthetically that if you don't have a trained eye, it can make it look really different. But essentially it's not. I mean, the line drawings themselves, if you took those same Axe Cop line drawings
Yeah.
and applied the black shadows to the volumes of the forms, it'd be the same.
Yeah,
it would look
yeah.
like it was in Black Dynamite. You just don't have the black shadows. It's just open lines.
Well, the nice thing about what I like about X Cop too, and I guess about Black Dynamite, because they are so similar, is it's simple but it's deep, which is what's really cool. And it's kind of key in animation, because obviously there's very complex animations like Studio Ghibli and that kind of stuff, which looks amazing. But I would be a little frustrated if because of the way animation's done for movement, I'd be frustrated if all animation looked the same. Because in the 80s, all animation looked the same.
Yeah.
All basically the same.
I mean, it goes through its phases. I think now what it is too, like you got the internet.
Yeah.
And everything is
push
on the
and
world
progression,
stage.
yeah.
And, you got technology. Axe Cop is animated in Flash.
Yeah.
What I love about animation and why I've always loved animation is how many different universes can be created.
Yeah.
And, I think that as a consumer, that's an amazing thing. I actually...
I just bought that like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, man.
I just got this back from a friend. I loaned this out literally 7 years ago, and I went
Wow.
down to a housewarming party
Aeon
in
Flux
Orange
recollection.
County. My friend's like, "Oh, I've got your Aeon Flux," and I was like, so I've been
Fucking awesome.
rewatching it. And speaking of different styles, this is a very specific style that no one else has really done anything.
That's
with Aeon
Peter
Flux.
Chung. He did that.
And the music that he did.
Yeah, he's insane, man. And the thing is,
He's only done a couple things too, right? He did
Yeah.
Alexander.
Well, he's done Alexander. He did the Diablo 3 promo animation, Ed Titmouse. He did that. When I met him,
Is he the guy
I
that also
almost
did
fucking shit a
like
brick.
Dead Space, and he also did? Is it because
He
like
did,
Dead Space, and there was also a Chronicles of Riddick cartoon?
He did the Chronicles of Riddick
okay,
thing.
yeah, which is really cool. By the way,
his
I really like
animation director, I think his protege, he worked with us on Black Dynamite. His name is Young Yoon, Young Ki Yoon. Fucking insane, man. This
Yeah.
dude is so talented, man. It makes me mad.
Doesn't that drive you crazy? You see someone like in like 3 strokes, you're like, "Fuck you! Come on,
man,
really?"
He's a beast, man.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Every great artist that I have ever met, every single one of them is always like, and every single, Dave Johnson, people that I've met in France, every single amazing artist I have ever met always is like, looks at someone else is like, "Oh man, I think their stuff is so good." I think what makes an artist great is the fact that they are always striving to
They get
get
inspired
better.
by other
Absolutely.
It's
people,
why people like Rob Liefeld never evolve, because they're
Yo.
happy with their style.
that dude.
Yeah.
I try not to say his name more than once a year. I mean, I'm not hating. I'm just hating.
I'm not hating, but I'm just hating.
Yo, this dude. Have you seen that blog? The 20 or
Yes.
40 worst
We-
Liefeld drawings.
We have given Rob Liefeld a lot of flack on this show, so he is persona non
Yo,
grata
power
as
to
we
him though,
speak.
because he had the game on lock for a while, drawing characters with a million teeth and women with spines that don't exist.
Yeah,
And no one had
the
feet.
double S spine,
Double S
Yeah.
and pouches, fucking pouches galore.
Yeah.
These pouches are so small, and what can you put in these pouches besides like other pouches?
a smaller,
You know what I'm saying?
more
What can-
efficient pouch.
Well,
Exactly.
when it comes to character design and pouches, one of my favorite features is, did you ever read Paul Pope's Year 100?
Yeah, I did.
So he has this amazing, if you, in the back of that book, it's his take on Batman, and it's a super sci-fi Batman. He actually has, in that one, Batman does have a bunch of pouches, but he has it all laid out in the back of the special edition, like what all the pouches were for, which I liked. But Rob Liefeld, some random ass pouches.
That is random. See, he just did that because design-wise, he can only do a certain thing. And, I think, like Paul Pope, for example, everything he does is with a purpose. Like if you really want me to break something down one time, every panel he does just about is in golden ratio. You ever heard of that before?
I don't know about the golden ratio.
Golden ratio is like a compositional tool.
Is it like the rule of thirds for photography?
Rule of thirds. Like it's like you could even simplify it down to like 70-30. Like if you have pure black, don't make more than 30% of your drawing pure black.
Yeah.
Versus the white, the other 70% white, and vice versa, because it focuses your eye. But when something's in perfect golden ratio, you can continue to break it down into thirds, and even those thirds you can break down into thirds. There's this a page in that year Batman year 100 where he's jumping across the buildings. You know when he's running from the dogs?
Yeah.
When you look at that shot of him running, he's jumping across the buildings. Everything is the composition itself is in 3/3.
Yeah.
Batman himself is in 1/3 of the sky that you see.
Yeah.
The buildings have 1/3 black or 1/3 color. You know what I'm saying? You can keep breaking down each third into another third.
It's followed to the teeth, basically.
But he's so good, F that. It's instinctive. Like he just does it.
Yeah.
How did you train as an artist?
By myself. I'm self-taught.
You're entirely self-taught.
Entirely.
Just looking at comics and just seeing what people are doing.
This is one of his drawings that he did for us at the Secret Show a couple weeks ago. The episode is...
Oh, that is the best Secret Show. I mean,
I added some
no
gray,
offense to the other great artists that have done it, but that is
like,
awesome.
I broke out the Copics later and added gray, so we have like lighting. Like all this shit is gray and everything.
Yeah, on screen there's a really cool image, and I believe these go up on the Death Squad site, right?
Yeah,
anyways, but there's
there was a website right now.
Little website drama.
It was supposed to go up yesterday, but I've been having problems with my.
Well, I was a little drunk when I drew that.
It was great, and you also drew one for the following show, the Ding Dong Show, and that was so funny because there's a girl that's on the show named Amber, which you probably remember her, the Asian girl, and
she was funny, man.
She's very funny, but she's considered the most annoying person in the world. And your take on it is so fucking hilarious. It's just like her lifting her shirt up, like everyone look at me. It is so great. And then this drawing that we were just showing is Cara Santa Maria, Bert Kreischer, Mark Maron, and Jason Tebow. And she's saying "fuck Olive Garden." But both of these are going to be auctioned off very soon, as soon as Death Squad gets back online. But I appreciate you doing it. You're just seeing somebody who was so talented is always great. That's a good thing about these shows is meeting all these awesome artists.
Yo, man, anytime, man. You're making me blush over here.
And the cool thing about the auction is the money goes right to the artist, and it's a good it's a cool relationship. The Death Squad, if you're not in LA, you can listen later, right? You put the Death Squad Secret Shows online, but the
you want the cold one?
The Death Squad Secret Shows are fantastic because it's
I'll take one of those.
live, unscripted Death Squad comedy, and then a live artist actually draws the mayhem. So it's a great thing to check out on the Death Squad feed as well.
We need to pause for a moment because on this show we rate beers. We are putting together a list of the Muff Said favorite beers. We do this on a scale of 1 to 5. I like Sierra Nevada. I think that it is historically important. I think it is spectacularly balanced. I want to give this beer 5. I mean, without Sierra Nevada, I'm not sure that the craft brew movement would exist. What on a scale of 1 to 5, how do y'all feel about this beer?
I liked it already because it's one of my favorites. Yeah, it's my favorite pale ale. The fact that you just told me that little tidbit about it, I'm giving it a fucking 6. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, if you want my opinion, that's what I'm doing. So,
Redban?
I honestly am a huge Sierra Nevada fan, so it's one of my favorite beers also. So I give it a 5.
Cool, man. Right. I'm glad I made a good choice. I was nervous.
I'm gonna give it a 4 because I don't think my pale ale palette is distinguished enough, but I think it's pretty good.
Word.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to give this a solid 5, I think, based on
the average.
Because we're not doing it, percentages.
Right.
But yeah, so Sierra Nevada Pale Ale will be number 5 on the Muff Said beer list for right now. And our fabulous guest, Chase Conley, brought us a second 6-pack. It's going to be the booziest Muff Said we've had in a while.
Yeah, it's 12 beers here.
That's how I roll.
Well, after you get fucking pulled over by the cops, you gotta fucking.
Yo,
drink.
man, I was like, yo, I want a shot right now. Like,
I got grape vodka.
do you?
Pucker grape. It's my favorite. You can grab that right over there, Ryan. It's,
So
the
something
best.
else that we want to talk about on the show.
too sweet?
This isn't as very good of a segue, but I'm going to do it anyways. I'm gonna brute force my way through this one.
Word.
Because the X Cop one was. I feel like I get a pass. With
That was nice. That was really nice.
So
On my misfortune.
Normally, I don't think an investor call is something that's very interesting to talk about, except that Netflix did a big investor call, kind of like showing their recent numbers and all that kind of stuff. But they revealed a bunch of cool information. They were basically revealed like a 10-year plan for television, and Netflix is basically calling for the eradication of traditional television and moving towards this on-demand, always streaming, internet-based television model.
same with Xbox.
And what's that?
Same with Xbox. Supposedly.
Xbox and Amazon as well, which we'll talk about. But they're also doing all these cool initiatives. They have something called Super HD, where a couple of the ISPs out there, if you have one of the selected ISPs, you can basically get Netflix at like pure quality HD. It doesn't even look compressed. So they're doing all these cool initiatives. Plus, obviously, House of Cards. Unfortunately,
Which is having an awesome party. If you're on Twitter, go to @House of Cards, and they're posting all sorts of fun pictures right now.
Yeah. So and it was interesting too because Netflix credited like HBO and a couple other companies right now for helping this come along. And obviously, the HBO thing's interesting because you have to have cable to get HBO. But HBO Go, there's going to be a point. Where, I think, is it Time Warner that owns HBO? Whoever owns HBO is going to go, we have to go on demand too. We want to compete with Netflix. Because Netflix just gained 3 million more subscribers. They're making billions of dollars. And they're really heavily pushing for this. So, it's not going to be weird in 5 years if no one has cable. You know what I mean? And not only that, but there's a rumor that Amazon's going to be selling a set-top box for their own service that's dedicated, like straight.
And
internet
Amazon's
line.
doing something really interesting right now.
Amazon did 14, I believe. They paid 14 different groups to make original content, just like HBO and Netflix is doing, and they release all of it. All of it, whether it's good or bad, doesn't matter. They put all 14 of these pilot episodes online that you can go check out. I'm not even sure if you need to be a subscriber. I think you might just be able to just watch them all. I've watched a few of them. They're actually pretty funny. Like the Onion News Network thing they have is hilarious. It's like side-splittingly funny. They have one called Those Who Can't. It's like a Always Sunny in Philadelphia style show about teachers in high school, like, trying to get back at like asshole kids and stuff like that. So they're really pushing for this, and it's interesting. 14 different pilot episodes. Regardless of how they turned out, Amazon was like, let's just see what they think. Which I think is the greatest. Like, instead of focus testing this with, like, Nielsen groups and shit, they're like, let's just see what the people think.
Yeah.
So these set-top boxes, do you think maybe, like, are they going to be, like, say like the Amazon box? Is it going to be, like, Amazon's going to make a deal with cable companies? If they use the box, it's not going to go against your download caps? Because it seems like maybe these caps that have been made recently were set up prior knowing that this was going to happen, and they're like kind of leasing out bandwidth.
That's kind of the interesting thing with Netflix Super HD. They have to work with specific ISPs because of download limits, like Google Fiber and that kind of thing, because their quality is so good.
Right.
I think if I had to guess, like put my best nerdy guess forward, I would say the Amazon box is going to be cheap, like cheaper than hell,
Right.
like $50, $60, maybe even less. And it's going to be aimed at the people that don't already have the Xbox or PlayStation or Apple TV in their home already. It's going to be like, and this is an extremely smart move because they can just subsidize this and then charge for the shows as a subscription fee. Let's get our box into all the other homes that aren't necessarily the hardcore tech nerds. And then our install base goes from whatever Xbox and Apple TV and PlayStation has to let's double that with a $30 box. And if they do that, that's the equivalent of the smartphone subsidy on a contract. Like
Right.
That's a super smart idea.
Right.
I think it sounds awesome, though.
Yeah, I if I could watch every show that I love just anytime I wanted, that'd be so awesome.
The thing is, I'm like the last person in the world with cable. Not only do I have cable, I have every movie channel.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Me too.
Damn.
I have that too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, I have that
hardcore.
too.
Yeah, and I don't watch shit.
I know.
work all
I
fucking
DVR
day.
everything. Or I watch on Netflix.
Well, that's my
I've
thing. It's
been-
like, or I use HBO Go, which is on the Xbox.
Right.
So it's like, I never really. I mean, I watch cable occasionally because I want to see things when they happen, but that didn't mean I couldn't do it from like the internet if I didn't have
Like
to.
ESPN was another group that the Netflix credited because I don't watch a lot of sports, but I watch skateboarding. And while I was working the other day, the Street League skateboarding was happening. I just had it on my second monitor, streaming just like it was live TV. Looked exactly the same, great HD. I'm working, glancing over live TV, for free. It's ad supported, whatever. I don't care about that. But it was great. I didn't have to like, I got a DVR. Let's go home, plan, sit, and watch. It was just on demand, right there when I wanted it.
I'm so excited because I recently went through a breakup, and the hardest thing about a breakup is homie did all of my shit on on his DVR, and I just realized, I was like, oh, through my Xbox, I can just watch all the Doctor Who that I want.
Yeah.
Like, I can just give him a couple bucks
It's
or
there.
whatever.
It's there for you when you want it.
And I love that. I don't want cable. I don't want any of that.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's...
I tell you what's good with cable though is when you're like looking for news or local stuff.
Absolutely.
That's the
Weather
problem.
Channel or some random.
But the
shit.
thing is,
Yeah,
Al Jazeera has an amazing streaming program.
I don't care about Al Jazeera. I care about Los Angeles. I care about what the fuck's going on at this Hollywood Hooters. There's a bomb there. What?
You could do like an antenna
Fuck
and
Hooters,
stuff
by
like
the
that.
way.
But
Yeah, fuck Hooters.
I hate Hooters.
Stupid.
I've always wanted to work there just so I can get the uniform, and I want to have like 2
eBay.
weeks
yeah,
as.
you could probably just
I want the experience though. Like I feel like that's something that I should do before
Team
I get
boneless
like
wings.
my face falls down too much.
I can give you
think
the
you want
experience in my garage.
Team boneless wings.
Yeah,
Team
Why
wings.
do I think about pliers when you say that to me in like a very
Hostile.
uncomfortable way?
Because I'll be pulling out my cum out of your ass.
Ooh,
Pliers?
nice.
Solid.
That sounds painful.
It does sound painful.
Well, the blood curdles.
Yeah, when it comes out. I don't even know how to segue beyond this now. I'm like,
I don't have another Xbox
go
Speaking
segue.
of blood, have you seen the new
Pause.
PlayStation?
I don't have an Xbox.
So, Ryan, are you allowed to talk about the other day of you going to Iron Man? And
Well, I didn't get to see the movie.
oh, you didn't get.
I
to
did
see
not
it.
get to see the movie. Can I put on my
who was
Iron
it
Man
playing at
mask?
the Kodak?
you should. Why are you asking?
Was
Just
it
do
the Kodak Theater that it played at, or it was that Chinese
it was
theater?
at El Capitan.
Oh, Al Capitan.
Oh, nice. That's a great little
So it's at
theater.
El Capitan, and
Because it's Disney.
Yeah,
It's
is
Disney.
it? But was it 3D?
Yeah, I think
Probably.
That shit, man.
It's getting
I'm
fancy.
not a
I
fan
mean,
of 3D.
yeah, it depends on the movie.
You don't like the 3D.
No, I don't like the 3D, and it's like 48 frames per second, and it makes me feel weird when I watch it.
so
It's too tangible. Like it feels like they're on a set.
That's why you need to smoke weed, sir.
Yo, man, I told you, 11 months,
No,
4 weeks, in 2 days.
stay strong.
that's why. I don't
know,
get it.
man.
Like, what
I still-
happened? Were you just like too happy and like too
And
like,
life was too good.
too good?
No, what it was, man, I felt like I wanted to get
You're
in
cloudy?
more physical shape.
Oh.
Because I go to the gym all the time,
Right.
but I don't do cardio because I just hardly do cardio. And
What's
since
gonna
I don't play
happen in the
basketball
zombie
anymore,
apocalypse?
like I hurt my knee. What'd you say?
What's gonna happen in the zombie apocalypse when you have to run away from some shit?
Oh,
You know, Joe Rogan
You know I
smokes,
can run still.
smokes like a pound of weed before he works out every day, and that dude is like one of the most ripped guys ever.
well, see, the thing is, it doesn't mess you up if you do something to counteract it. Because I know people that smoke cigarettes. I mean, of course, over time, anything in moderation is cool. But over time, yeah, it will catch up to you. Like if you're still trying to do that and you're 50. But I wasn't doing any cardio at all because I was always a great athlete. Like I was always a great athlete. I just was. Now I'm not. Like I'm older now.
You're getting scarred.
No, but I hurt my knee.
That's why there's an elliptical machine, because my knees are so messed up from being a stripper.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, like I've got a serious case of stripper knee. That
Guys, just don't work out. Just join me. Just join
I-
my.
you
If
feel
we want
better.
to talk about bad knees, I was an athlete for 10 years, so I have some pretty gnarly knees.
this show just officially hit like the Metamucil hour. Like, let's talk about our LG
I did throw my back out this weekend, so yeah, there is that.
You know, and my neighbors, I think they're DJs because they've been listening to that techno music at all hours of the day, and I'm not having it. Not having it.
Yo, I just
That electronic music.
techno.
Damn kids!
Like
The
I
loud
like
music?
techno, I guess, but I don't get techno.
Depends on what it is. I feel like that term is dead and it's just broken off. To a bunch of
Techno,
different
yeah,
stuff.
it's not techno. It's like dubstep. I like
Or
dubstep.
EDM or whatever it is.
What's
where
that
it
new
goes
shit?
unsa.
Trap is the new shit.
Trip. Yeah.
Trap.
It's
It's
trap.
trap.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
trap?
Well, I always thought trap music
Well,
was
there's
like
like glitch. There's
like dudes from the South
know
rapping
Glitch.
about selling drugs. That's trap music to me because that's what it was. But now trap music is something different, like the
I-
Harlem Shake. which is weird. Like that's a whole huge trend.
Which,
now.
by the way, was crazy that
but it's not the Harlem Shake. I don't understand.
That song was
What is the
made
Harlem
in
Shake?
New Jersey.
I
right?
can't do it, but you can pull it up. Like there was a.
So it's different than the actual
think-
Harlem Shake.
Yeah,
I'm confused.
They don't do the Harlem Shake in the video. The
No,
Harlem
the Harlem
that they
Shake
do now-
song was written by like a dude from Jersey. It's not actually part of the Harlem Shake
No,
dance.
yeah, it has nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
Like actually, I think the owner of Friends Night ADHD, where I work, Nick Weidenfeld. I think his child's godfather is the one that produced that track.
Okay.
And he was like, "Yo, he made so much money."
Oh, I'm
like,
sure.
all like in a week.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
because
he's a couple
it
million
took
probably.
off. Like
Yeah.
and
Better not get used to it.
It was
Lightning
crazy,
only
man.
strikes.
It's
once.
fucking lightning in a fucking bottle.
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
sure. Well, I know, like you were saying, it's not. It has nothing to do with the Harlem Shake. The Harlem Shake
No.
is a dance.
No.
That I'm not gonna do because I'm not gonna look crazy.
Yeah.
But
I've
if
not
you-
even watched one of them yet.
What you haven't missed shit.
No,
because
because
Yeah, you
I'm,
haven't missed
I'm
anything.
purposely not watching. Because like, what the reason I'm not is that it hit, and then within like 24 hours, people are already tweeting like, "All right, I'm done with the Harlem Shake." And I'm like, "Oh, I haven't even seen it. I should just not even watch it."
The only Harlem Shake.
one or
Kids
two
these
cool
days.
ones though.
The only Harlem Shake thing that I liked is there's some like nerd, of course it's the nerdy one, built a widget that you can install, and then you click a button, it'll make any website you're on start doing the Harlem Shake. So one part of it would do the thing, and then the whole website would just start going crazy. Like the
Yeah.
text would start bouncing. It wasn't people; it dynamically created a Harlem Shake on
But
the
that's
website.
dope because that's
that's fucking
creativity.
cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was really cool.
That was ill. It
was like-
I
it was
don't
like
know.
catbounce.com.
I'm just not a fan of the actual like trend of it. I don't dislike the track. I think it's if
Yeah,
they had
it's
some people
solid.
doing the Harlem Shake to that,
yeah.
then I think that'd be awesome. But I didn't understand it, like, because at first I was just like, what the fuck is this? Like one person doing something random, and then everybody
Doing something
doing
random.
something
Yeah.
random. But I was like, I mean, this is
Well, speaking of
Not
creativity, if you are in the Los Angeles area, there's a really great gallery here called Gallery 1988. And tomorrow they open with the official Bad Robot art experience. And that's going to run April 26th through May 18th. So if you want to get some nerd art up in your brain and you happen to be in the Los Angeles area, just Google Gallery 1988. They've got a website.
I'm curious to know what's going to be. It's going to be Star Trek stuff, monster movie stuff, Lost stuff, and then Felicity.
it's gonna be random.
Well,
I like Gallery 1988. They're super random.
that's where
It's all
I know.
pop
I
art.
was more. That's where Abrams started. He was doing Felicity before he started doing like crazy sci-fi lens flare action.
Is that what is there at that gallery?
No. It's Gallery 1988 is like a pop culture art gallery, but I'm sure it'll all be like the Star Trek and the Lost and all that kind of stuff.
I am so excited for the new Star Trek. I can't even tell you.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be
I'm-
dope, man.
I'm
People
super
some
excited.
people are like,
I am so
not liking
excited.
it. I'm excited.
I don't know how
I'm
you
not into
cannot
gay
be.
dudes, but Zachary Quintos, like I want to rub my nipples
Oh,
on that
Spock.
man.
Yeah.
Oh yes,
Yo,
That whole cast
He
is
was
great.
awesome in American Horror Story, the
he's
first
awesome
one,
in everything. He just
and the
crushes
second
it.
one, and the second one. Well, he played a gay dude in the first one.
He's like a white hot sexual being, and he's just like he radiates talent.
I don't know. He has
Even with no
amazing
emotion.
screen presence, though.
Because he's Spock. Yeah, he does.
That's fucking crazy.
He has half of emotions.
I listen.
He has half emotion because he's only
Half human. Yeah, he
Yes.
expresses
It's
it.
just anger, though.
Yeah, straight rage. It's Spock rage.
I think that he's like it's like dating like a nerd. Like they have no emotions most of the time, but in the bedroom they're very sweet. And
The only
gentle.
thing
Damn right.
I didn't like from
Damn
the first
right.
one, Zoe.
Don't eyeball me. You've got a cold.
You're
Zoe
damn
Saldana,
right.
whenever she after he found out his mother died, and she ran into the elevator. I didn't like that scene. I thought that they could have left it out. I think
I
they should have
did
left it a
because
little
I
bit more
like
cold.
everything that she does. I like everything that she does.
I can't
love
argue with
woman.
that. All right,
But no,
all right.
they did a great job rebooting it, and they picked a great villain, the dude from Sherlock, and there's a fucking scene in the preview where the Enterprise is crashing into the ocean. I'm like, fuck yeah, they're just raising the stakes as high as
I
possible.
thought that they were trying to get what's his name played in shit, man.
they had the
It was supposed to be Kane, or was that what it
Oh,
was?
Khan.
Khan, Wrath of Khan.
Yeah, they were gonna try to
Benicio del Toro.
Oh, that would have been badass.
Yeah, that's what the rumors were for a
Oh,
while.
interesting.
I'm getting kind of drunk from this second beer. I'm not gonna lie.
I haven't ate yet. I'm not even done with my coffee yet.
Brian Redban doesn't eat food. You never eat food.
My morning coffee is still not even finished. I'm drinking beer
What
on
time
top.
did you wake up today?
Well, I've been dealing with website issues all night. I was up till about 6 or 7, woke up around 3, and been dealing with website issues from 3 to
Get on it, DreamHost.
Well, no, the CEO just wrote me, and, he's going to look into it. And he's, he's helped me out so much, and he has. But I just have a problem with horrible customer service. Like, if you give me something for free and have the worst customer service, I don't even want it.
Yeah.
Like, I would rather just have good customer service
and pay for it.
And pay for it.
Yeah.
And it's just getting to the point where, like, the last guy I talked to, he pretty much called me a liar.
What?
Yeah, and I'm just like, no, I'm not lying. I could forward you the fucking emails. And
that is horrible.
Doesn't matter anyway.
He's like, then puts me on hold. And then puts me on hold.
You're always right.
I remember every good customer experience I've ever had because I remember it going like, holy shit, that was awesome.
Why do you think I still shop at Nordstrom? Best customer service ever.
I got in a conversation about like some movie coming out with Warby Parker when I was ordering my glasses. Like the girl on the other line, we ended up talking about like a new movie.
Yo.
It was
and you
awesome.
fell in love.
I've instantly.
I had the best customer service with Xbox. Because they like drafted it out of my account, and I was like, I didn't want you guys to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I didn't know they did that automatically.
They did that to me too.
But it didn't matter. It was just the principle. I was like, I didn't ask you guys to do that. We're like, sir, it drafts automatically, and we ended up talking about like Cam Newton getting drafted to the Panthers. Like he was like, yo, man, where are you from? You sound like you're from where I'm from. I was like, I'm from North Carolina. He's like, I'm from South Carolina. We talked for like 40 minutes.
That's what it should be.
Which is weird.
Yeah.
But that's good customer service.
No, that's not. I don't think it's weird.
I see you sitting there like going, so what are you doing?
Exactly. Yo, I don't even need Xbox, man. What's your phone number, man? You need to get up and have a beer.
That's awesome.
No, but I would rather have that than this guy that I talked to just telling me I was lying.
That's bullshit.
And then he puts me on hold and he goes, yeah, well, we can't help you out because that's not our service to do that. I'm like,
to serve me is not your service.
Well, with the I don't even want to talk about it because
let's not talk about it.
It's not. Unfortunately, the company itself is probably a great company. The CEO is a great guy. I've had actually better service than bad service with them. But when shit goes down, it's just like, no, this is why people get pissed. This is a part of your company that has a problem in it because I've almost tried to leave you 3 times. Yeah. It's like an ex-girlfriend that you've had like 3 fights with and you're just like, all right, why am I still fighting with this girl? I should have broken up with her a long time ago. Yeah. That shouldn't be like that. If you have a problem with it, you should have somebody that actually fucking listens to you instead of like just like, all right, nope, can't help you out here. It's just annoying. Especially if I really get into the reason of this problem, then it would be really annoying. And I don't want to even get into it because I don't want to fucking trash a company that's helped me out so much.
Yeah.
It just sucks.
It's easy to get angry, though.
Yeah, it sucks for fucking people that like have to deal with shit like this. It's getting worse. Customer service sucks.
People don't. Man. Kids these days don't understand.
Watch out, that camera's about to fall.
Nailed it. Got it.
I'm going to get leashed again like I was when I was a toddler.
Yep.
Doesn't that explain so much?
Yes.
What happened?
Yes.
Leashed?
I was a leashed
run
child.
Away.
Were you?
Yeah.
How was that? From what you can remember, anyway.
Well, so it happened because when I was like 3 years old, or maybe even younger, I was in the changing room with my mother, and I waited until she had completely undressed to try something on, and then I ran out under the door and ran out onto the department stores and hid inside one of those circular racks, and they couldn't find me for 3 hours.
I love those racks, though.
Those were the best. I love hiding.
See, my mom would beat my ass, so I would never like just run away. You know what I'm saying? But within a certain amount of time, I would be kind of out and about. Like, yo, I'm out. Like,
I'm
exploring some shit. I'm in this circular thing that's got clothes and I can spin all around and shit. There's weird people walking around. They're looking at me like I'm strange. I didn't realize now I was like a kid running around on a rampage, and they were looking at me like, who the fuck is watching this child? Like,
my parents were pretty much like, I'll just see what happens, and they kind of let me do what I want. But nothing too bad.
I do what I want.
Yeah.
You know who I respect? What's his name? Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He was talking about.
He's the best.
He is the best. Like, have you seen that video of him teaching his kid the periodic table?
No.
His child is in I'm pretty sure it's him. His child is in a high chair and can tell you not only everything on the periodic table versus by him speaking verbally. Excuse me. He can take cherries and show you how many electrons and neutrons each Element has. And the little boy is in a high chair. He has to be no older than 2.
That's incredible.
It's insane.
Speaking of prodigy children, we are off next week, but we will be back on the 8th, and we're going to have Brent Bushnell, son of Nolan Bushnell, founder of Atari, on talking about his new project.
What? Is he making new games and shit?
He's an inventor.
He's creating a STEAM circus that's science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. It's a crazy future science circus to teach kids about like lasers and electricity and awesome stuff.
That sounds awesome, man. I don't know.
Do you have that video
Which one?
of Neil Tyson deGrasse?
I looked for it. I didn't find it. No.
I have little hope for this next generation of children.
Me too.
I don't know why though. I mean, I shouldn't because.
But I feel like every generation previous.
My little sister's still in high school. She's doing pretty good.
Word?
Yeah, she's doing pretty good. She just got a scholarship for rowing to the University of Minnesota. She's smart as a whip.
That's
good
awesome.
head on her shoulders. Never does anything stupid. It's a little hope there.
I think that's more of a testament to your family as opposed to the generation as a whole.
Maybe.
I think it's a dismal tide, man. I think
it's just about
bad.
Education, man, is a silver bullet.
Absolutely.
It is the
but
silver
like
bullet.
looking at our education system, not to get all political and shit, because that's not my thing. I'd rather just drink. But no, seriously, it's just education, man. That shit is serious. Like, we're falling behind, and we are really behind.
Really
behind. It's so expensive for kids to go to school here. Like,
speaking of
that shit is
education,
crazy,
for those of us that live here in Los Angeles in the area, May 22nd is the mayoral runoff. Make sure to mark that on your calendar because you need to get out and vote. Whether you're going to go Gruel or Garcetti, I don't care which way you go, as long as you go out and go out and vote. Make a decision. Contribute.
Do you disclose who you're voting for?
I'm going to go with Garcetti.
Word.
I'm going with Garcetti too.
Yeah, we have a broken system, and as much as I would like to be more union friendly, I think Gruel's a little too close to the unions. Though she is comfortable. I think either way the city's going to be in good hands. But personally, I prefer Garcetti.
Yep.
I don't know either of these people. I don't feel bad about saying that.
Yeah,
I mean, back home, I know who's running and stuff like that because...
Well, you're a new transplant. Have you registered to vote here yet?
No.
No way.
What?
Why would I do that?
I have not
So
done
you
that.
can have an opinion?
I'm not trying to go
So
to
you
jury
can
duty.
contribute?
As soon as you register to vote, you have to go to jury duty.
Yep.
And that shit sucks out here.
You know how it goes.
Yeah, but if you're registered to vote in your other state, are you going to have to fly back for jury duty there?
I have a grand summons from New York, actually.
I don't think so. I'll just tell them I can't. Like, and most of the time they're pretty... I mean, hopefully no one is from North Carolina at the clerk's office or some random shit is watching this. But, I mean, they're pretty lenient. Like, yo, I can't get there. I can't afford to fly there. How are you going to get me there? You going to pay for my ticket to send me to jury duty to earn $10 a day?
I think if I ever got jury duty, I would just make up ridiculous stories in my head about what's actually going on.
I'm changing the topic.
It'd be law
I'm bored. We're talking about how to get out of jury duty. This is a podcast.
Yeah. My bad.
So, speaking of kids these days, I've been saying such nice things about the Across the Universe series. I read the first book. I loved it. Across the Universe. I read A Million Songs, the second book, and I loved it because it was light and it was fluffy and it was fun and it was about a girl on a spaceship. And now I was so excited to read the third book that I had it rush ordered in hardback from Amazon because I wanted to read this shit. I wasn't even going to wait for the paperback. Shades of Earth, and holy crap, has it jumped a shark. So disregard everything that I ever said about the Across the Universe series because
that's horrible.
I just don't think
you're not going to use the new term, nuking the fridge. You don't know the new term, nuking the fridge?
What does that mean?
Jumping the shark has been officially replaced by nuking the fridge.
Word.
When did they nuke the fridge?
In the fourth Indiana Jones movie. When they got inside of a small refrigerator and survived a nuclear blast.
What?
Yeah. It's nuking the fridge replaced jumping the shark.
I missed that movie.
Yeah. No, you didn't miss anything. You didn't miss anything.
Me too.
You're saving a piece of your childhood by not seeing that movie.
That's the new one with Shia LaBeouf?
Yes.
Does that count?
Yeah, I avoided that.
Yeah,
I avoided that.
Yeah.
So don't get the Across the Universe series.
No.
Or read the first two and then stop.
No, you don't want to read the first two because the first two are like they're like fast paced and they're super great and you're like really into it and then you're like I need the third one and then I'm like reading the third one and I'm like oh this sucks and I'm gonna finish it because I have it and I'm a completionist and it's a really easy read, but it just makes me sad. I finally finished Hyperion.
The first one.
Finished Hyperion.
What'd you think?
First one. Talk about leaving you hanging.
Yeah.
So much.
What'd you think of like the whole overall like crazy fucking epic sprawling story?
It was really good. Hyperion was really, really, really good.
Yeah.
I'm
What is this book?
Hyperion, the series, yeah.
It's
Dan
a
Simmons.
classic sci-fi. I think I'm gonna take a break. I have so many books to read right now. I don't know what I'm gonna read next.
They are like 800 or 900 pages each, so.
It wasn't that many. It was only like 500.
Oh, maybe they get longer then, for sure. For sure.
I feel
that's
that's
not the
how
one I read.
all sci-fi series goes. Like the first one's not that bad. It's like 250 to like 450. You're like, okay, cool, whatever. Fantasy novels too, and then like volume 4 is like 800 pages long. And on that note, go to at Ryan Keely on the Twitter and find me on Facebook because not enough people like me on Facebook.
Yeah, like her Facebook up.
Makes me feel sad.
Like it up.
Yeah, that's crazy. I figured that you have like a million bajillion. No. You have a lot of followers though.
Nah.
I have none.
Well, where
Mine
can
is-
people follow you on Twitter,
Yo,
Chase
matter
Conley?
of fact, I mean, I rarely tweet, but now if you follow me, I might tweet more often. It's at the Chase Conley.
That's
At the Chase Conley.
How you spell your last name?
Conley.
That's awesome.
Yeah, very easy.
Robot Pants. That's what people call me now in person and online, so.
It works better
At
that way,
Robot
right?
Pants, yeah, I guess, yeah. Pants and Robot Pants.
And Redban, you're up to some stuff next week because we're on hiatus because you're
Is it
doing
next week?
awesome things. It is next week.
Next week's May 3rd.
It is.
Wow.
Shit, man.
That's crazy. Next week is May 3rd. Wow. Holy shit. So, yeah, next week I'll be in Sacramento, May 3rd and 4th. I'm bringing Death Squad there with